Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I am the Channeling Goddess. If you are new here, hi, hello. If you are returning back, welcome back. So today we are going to be doing a pick a card reading all about what it is that the divine feminine is calling forth within us. So a lot of us are starting to tap more into our divine feminine to really walk comfortably in our divine feminine, and for some of us it is calling forth something different in all of us. Okay, so I have two piles here today. Now, before I get into the piles, I do want to say that these messages will be seen or heard by more than one person. So if you're looking for something that is a little bit more tailored to you, if you're looking for spirit to give you a more direct message, then it is helpful that you tap into your own intuition. And one way that I like to do this is by putting my feet in the grass and just taking a couple of mindful deep breaths, or you can do this in your home or anywhere else, wherever you feel comfortable, taking just a couple of mindful deep breaths. So normally I inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 3, and then exhale for 5 to 6 seconds. This just gives you more in tune with your own intuition. I would also say to set the intention if you are looking for a specific sign. So let's say you're looking for the color red in flowers, right? And that's your symbol or your sign that you have chosen the right pile. Then this would be helpful for you to understand that you are on the right path, okay? So I will say that we have two piles here. So the first one is Kuan Yin. She's the goddess of compassion. And the saying at the bottom says, I recognize suffering in order to release it. Curiosity breeds optimism. Okay. I will read them from the book in each pile. So if you want to just go to each pile and, listen to what the actual meaning behind the card is, you can do that as well. But if you just want to choose from here, that's perfectly fine as well. Okay. So then we have Amaterasu, or to Temarasu, I think, which is the goddess of light. And it says, we are all sacred mirrors reflecting back the same light, okay? So I will go ahead and move on to the piles. Make sure if you're the type of person like me and you like choosing piles based on timestamps, I will say to look in the description box below. They will be there. And I just saw 222, so that may be a confirmation for someone here on what pile that you need to choose. But the timestamps will be in the description box below, and I will see you in your pile. Bye. Hello, pile number 1, and welcome to your reading. So you chose Kuan Yin, which is the goddess of compassion, and it says, I recognize suffering in order to release it. Curiosity breeds compassion. Now, the first thing I'm getting from this card just by itself before we're reading it from the book is that some of us have not been so kind to ourselves. We've been very hard on ourselves, and we have essentially put ourselves in situations where we haven't had the best outcome, right? And let's say, so like an example, let's say you've been in a situation where, I don't know, you went up for a job. You knew it was a job that you didn't qualify for, but you wanted to go for the job anyway because it's something that you've always wanted to do, right? You went for the job and you didn't get it, but you've been beating yourself up because you didn't get this job. And instead of having compassion for yourself and saying like that was brave of you to even go for the job, you got, interviewing experience or whatever the case may be, or you learned something about yourself during this interview process, you've been beating yourself up about this. And I feel like for a lot of us, we have started to come into the light, so to speak. We've started to see things for what they are. We've started to see the lies that have it's almost like our rose-colored glasses have come off. And for some of us, we've been talking very dispassionately to ourselves. We've been saying things like, how did I not get this before? I'm so stupid. Like, how did I let so-and-so do this to me for so long? Blah, 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 blah. Some of us, we're coming into the light, and instead of being grateful for the light that we're coming into, we are beating ourselves up. We're not having compassion for who we were, because a lot of times, sometimes we don't realize that the things that we do that are not, some people would necessarily call toxic or not necessarily great, those are coping mechanisms, right? And sometimes we use those in order to get by in life. And when we are no longer using those coping mechanisms and we're moving forward in life, sometimes we don't look back and see the benefit that those coping mechanisms might have had. So at some point in your life, you felt like you needed to do this thing in order to get by, right? And now that you no longer need it, there is this bashing that's happening, right? Instead of being grateful for what you had, instead of just being appreciative for, the things that, you needed to do to survive, and understanding that that's how that came about, you're beating yourself up, right? And Spirit is saying that the divine feminine is asking for us to have a little bit more compassion. Compassion is rising within us. For some of us, we may be put in situations where we have to be more compassionate, not just to ourselves, but to others. And it will teach us, a little bit more about understanding who we are, understanding like the benefits and like the pitfalls as well of like the things that we've done as coping mechanisms, right? And I feel like that's coming out a lot right now, that a lot of us, especially when we are, I don't want to say rebranding, but that's the word that just came to me. So sometimes when you're rebranding and we're changing things for the better, sometimes we beat ourselves up because we didn't know it before. And I would say sometimes we don't realize that everything that happened for a reason. And I know some people don't subscribe to that, and I get that. But for me, I personally believe that everything happened for a reason. It has its time and it has its place. And you went through what you went through because that was the thing that was supposed to happen at that time. And I just saw 333 on the clock. That's what was supposed to happen at that time. And now you're moving out of that. But Spirit is asking you to have a little bit more compassion. The divine feminine within you is asking you to have a little bit more compassion for yourself. But for some of you, I'm hearing that you're going to have to learn how to have compassion for yourself, because there are going to be other people who you're going to almost help bring out of these places where you've been, these headspaces, these beliefs and mindsets where you've been, and you're going to have compassion for them as well. And sometimes that compassion comes from having your own understanding of what's going on. Like sometimes people talk about Chiron, the wounded healer. Chiron, the wounded healer. Sometimes in order to heal others, you have to know what it feels like to be wounded, right? And Spirit is saying that the divine feminine within you is asking you to have compassion for yourself, because at some point you will have to have compassion for others, right? They will need someone who won't, like sometimes in situations you need someone to hold you up, right? You can't be compassionate for yourself, so sometimes you have to have other people to be compassionate for you, to help you see the light. And for some of you, that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be being compassionate for others, and you're going to help them see the light, okay? So I'm going to read this from the book. So it says, Kuan Yin, the goddess of compassion. It says, Kuan Yin represents the presence that listens deeply to our prayers spoken from the heart. Kuan Yin, or Kuan Yin, is an incarnation of Avalokitesvara. Not sure I'm saying that right. I apologize if I am. The Bodhisattva of compassion. She is known as the goddess of mercy and is considered to be the most loved Buddhist deity. Her name translates in Chinese as the one who perceives the cries of the world. She is often compared to the Virgin Mary in Christianity because she intercedes on behalf of those who call out to her with humanity and sincerity. Scholars believe that the Buddhist monk Rajiva, I believe, I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong, was the first to refer to the female form of Kuan Yin in the Chinese translation of the Lotus Sutra in 406 CE. She's associated with the number 33, and we saw 333. Wow. She's associated with the number 33 because she appears 33 times in this sacred text. The Lotus Sutra reveals that the mudra most often associated with Kuan Yin is the Yoni mudra, her cupped hands symbolizing the womb, to remind us that we all enter the world through the female womb, this is a symbol that's here, right? I hope you can see that, okay? It says, the Buddhist saint Mao Shan, I hope I'm saying that right, is believed to have been an incarnation of Kuan Yin. Kuan Yin was originally worshipped as a male deity, but at some point during the Northern Sung Dynasty, 960 to 1126, Kuan Yin began to be worshipped as a female. Mao Shan is believed to be the cause of this transformation. The legends of Mao Shan contain beautiful accounts of her saving sailors from drowning in rough seas. Kuan Yin is associated with jade because of its protective properties. In this case, it's said to help with going underwater both literally and figuratively, drowning in the ocean or in a flood of emotions. Okay. Now I want to say this, and I apologize if I'm saying these names wrong. I cannot quite get them together. But I want to say this because it was coming through while I was reading. For some of you, you've done a reading or you've gotten a reading and Kuan Yin has come out before. And maybe because you are not of Chinese heritage, you're not sure if this deity is calling out to you. I will say if you chose this Pao intuitively, then this is Kuan Yin calling out to you. I would definitely say to do some research on this deity. There may be a message she is trying to give to you. She may also be trying to help you through a difficult time, and maybe that's why she is coming out for you, because I know for me, I've been seeing her quite a bit. So you may, and I understand sometimes a lot of us, we try to be very true to the skin that we're born in, right? But for some of us, we need to venture out a little because there are other gods or deities or whatever you believe in that have messages for us. And for some of us, Kuan Yin may actually be calling out to you. And I see this butterfly here. Some of you may be going through a transformation, and Kuan Yin is here to help you have compassion for yourself so that you can have compassion for others who are going through transformations. You may also be, because I'm hearing this, you may also be the type of person, I think I said this, who helps others through transformation. And it starts with yourself, right? There's this saying like great parenting starts at home, right? And it's because the foundation is where you learn how to be a good person or how not to be a good person. And for you, or for those of you that this resonates with, your compassion is being learned within yourself, right? You are going within and you're learning to have compassion for yourself, because you may not have anybody around you who can fully understand what you're going through, who can fully understand where you're coming from, and the compassion that is needed, you're going to have to give it to yourself. Okay. So we're definitely going to pull some cards. I'm loving the energy so far from this reading. So we're going to pull a couple of cards and just see what messages the Divine Feminine has for you right now. Okay. Spirit, with the Divine Feminine calling forth compassion in pile number 1, what other messages do you have for them? Thank you. We have the Cosmic Heart. It says devotion, potency, make your life a moving prayer. And then we have the 7 Star Sisters, bringing birthing creations, tapestry of life, expression. Excuse me. Okay. Can we get 2 more cards, please, Spirit? 2 more cards, please, Spirit. That 1. That's 2. Okay. We have the Void. So it says stop, embrace winter, great cosmic wound. We have the Courageous Peony. It says multifaceted, unique nature, let yourself be seen. And then the bottom deck energy is you're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness, face your true north. Okay, pile number 1, let's talk about it. So your first card is the Cosmic Heart. So it says devotion, potency, make your life a moving prayer. For some of you, this part of your path in life, or part of your devotion, or your, I'm hearing sacred path is what I'm hearing. That's not the word I'm trying to use, but Spirit must want me to use that word. But part of your sacred path is to help transform others, to help them through transformation. Now, this could be from birth to death, or from death to birth. And what I mean by that, let's say you are a nurse. Let's say you are a, what do they call them? I can't think of what they're called. A doula. Thank you. A doula. Or are you you could be a doula who helps, women bring children into the world. You could also be a doula, a death doula, right? So people who help people transition. So this is just kind of a general understanding. You can be a person who helps people through transformation in other ways, but this is just what I'm getting right now. Spirit is saying that you're going to have to live what you preach. And I'm getting chills in my back just saying this. You're going to have to live what you preach. And a lot of times in those situations coming in, so when a child is born, most people are, very like nurturing toward children, right? Because their children is kind of, it almost feels natural sometimes, right? But I feel like that there is a different kind of compassion when children are born versus when, someone died. And for some of us, you could be helping people transition. You could be a part of their way into this world as well as a part of their way out. So some of you may deal a lot with spirits. If this has not happened yet, it is something that could definitely be coming for you. You could, like, I'm getting a very like clear visual. Some of you, and this is going to sound very woo-woo, so I'm just warning you, some of you could be individuals who help people transition into from life to death. And this could be spiritual work that you're doing. This could be something you're doing in your dreams. For some of you, you could also be helping people go from death to life. So at least what we would consider death, like reincarnation, right? They're going from one soul to another, or from one body to another. And for some of you, I wouldn't even know how something like this would happen, but you're helping those souls transition into this life, into this reincarnation. You may be doing this during your dreams. You may do this doing meditation. You may hear in your meditation, you may feel certain energies and certain voices that may be coming forward to you, and it may be voices you've never heard before. For some of you, these are people on the other side. So a lot of your work is going to be dealing with people on the other side. Now, I will say this: if this part does not resonate with you, that is okay. Right now, I'm specifically talking about spiritual connection. So just hang in there. Just hang in there, okay? For those of you where this does resonate, there is a calling on your life to reach over into the other side. And it may be scary, right? So it may be scary. It may be something new for you that you've never heard of before. It could be that you've been feeling this, but you haven't quite like put your finger on what you've been feeling. And this reading could be confirmation for you. Now, I will also say this: I am the type of person that I need double confirmation. So if you feel called to this message and you feel like this message is something that you need to hear, then I would definitely say to reach out to spirit and ask for additional confirmation. For some of you, you may experience a lot of chills because since I've been talking about this, like my shoulders and my back are like, I feel like chills everywhere. So for some of you, that may be a sign when those spirits are around you, those spirits who are looking to transition, or when it is time for you to help these souls move on. This could be like a sign that they're around you. That could be like the first sign, right? There's chills, and then there's something else, right? Because they have not left me. I'm like, I have chills this whole time. Okay. But for some of you, because of what you're going to have to do in this life, there is going to be you're going to have to be a deeply compassionate person. Where it's almost like you're going to have to hold people's hands through a lot of these transitional processes. Now, for those of you where that does not resonate with you, some of you could be a preacher, you could be a teacher, you could be a mechanic, you could be, you could do, sound bowl healing, right? That is helping people through transitional phases, right? You can be in any job and help someone through a transitional phase, but you may notice that a lot of people around you, when they first meet you, they have one particular mindset. And by the time your relationship is over, or when you're parting ways, they feel completely different. They're doing something different. It's because you're a part of their transitional phase. Like, perfect example, I always feel like I go into roles to almost move people out of those jobs, especially if they're not comfortable there, to show them that there is another path. It's almost like opening up the light or opening up their eyes to see that there's more than what they've been doing like this whole time. And it's up to them to grasp it. It's up to them to take it. I've been feeling like that for a long time. So for some of you, that may resonate with you. But part of this, the reason why the divine feminine is bringing this up for you is because you need to have a lot of compassion for yourself. Because like, okay, let's say if you're a very sensitive person, and the thought of death makes you sad, right? Your sadness is almost like you're going to have a lot of compassion for yourself and understand that death is not the end. It is only the beginning, right? And you're going to have a lot of compassion for yourself, but also for those that you're helping to transition. Because sometimes when people are going through a transitional phase, they could be coming from a shitty place, right? They've been a shitty human being, and now they're moving into a different space. And you're going to have compassion for who they were when they were in that space. And I think that's why that came through when I was channeling in the beginning. That's why that came through in the beginning about how sometimes we are transitioning, right? And, you know, people are going from one phase of life to another. And that compassion, like sometimes we don't have compassion for ourselves when we're like, oh my God, I should have seen this. Oh my God, I should have known this. And sometimes when we're going through that, we're going through that by ourselves. And for some of you, you are going to be a guiding light for people who are going through transition. So you have to learn compassion for yourself so that you can have compassion for others. Okay. So then we have the 7 star sisters. It says birth and creations. Tapestry of life expression. For some of you, you are part of the way you're going to help people through transition is through your creative art. So I talked about like singing bowls. For some of you, you could be painters, you could be writers, you could be sculptors, you can make body butter. You could like something that you do with your hands that creates. It's almost like, think of it like as creating life. And I know people like may feel uncomfortable with that because we see God as the only person who can create life. But every time you mix something together and it changes into something new, you are creating a form of life, right? So perfect example. Let's say you're the type of person who loves to cook, right? Those herbs that you're using in your cooking, that's bringing life, right? You're using a living thing. Those herbs are living. You can talk to those herbs. You can enhance the power of those herbs. Let's say you're pouring salt into, I don't know, spaghetti. You can actually speak to the salt and say, let this salt that's in the spaghetti, for everyone that tastes the spaghetti that I'm using, may they be purified. May negative energies that are attached to them be moved away from them, right? You're speaking life into that. You're creating something completely new. The spaghetti has went from just plain old spaghetti to now it is removing negative energy. It is clearing paths for people who need that stuff to be removed from their aura, right? So for some of you, a lot of what you're going to be doing is creating, you're going to be showing compassion through your creation, right? There are going to be people. Have you ever been in a situation where you've heard a song and you cannot explain why it makes you cry? It's because sometimes the energy of the person who wrote the song or the person who's singing the song, they're not just opening their mouths and words are coming out. They're actually singing from a place deep within their soul. And what you're hearing is their soul crying out in the song, right? What you're hearing in those words is the actual feeling of their soul. I'll give you a perfect example. Sometimes when I listen to Native American music, it makes me cry. And it's because it's something within my soul that's crying out to the soul of the person who is singing. The drumming, like the actual beating of the drum, feels familiar to my soul. So a lot of times when we're creating, we don't realize that sometimes when we're creating, we're not just creating for us. When you're writing a story, you're not just writing a story for yourself, right? That's why sometimes you'll be put in situations where, let's say you are working on a painting and it's not quite coming together. So you step away from it and you try to do something else, but you keep getting called back to that painting. The reason why you keep getting called back to that painting, because someone needs to see that painting. Someone's soul needs to be healed from that painting. Some energy that's attached to them can be removed from them just seeing your painting. And I know that sometimes that can be a heavy thing to bear, but that's why there's Kuan Yin is calling out to you, to your divine feminine through Kuan Yin is calling out to you to ask you to have compassion for yourself so that you can show compassion to others, right? For others of you, your soul tribe is getting ready to come in. The 7 star sisters makes me think about that. There will be people who will be on this path with you to help you understand your own compassion toward yourself and others. But you are birthing a lot of creation. For some of you, you are about to actually bring a child into this world. And you are afraid because maybe your parents weren't the best parents. Maybe you feel like you have been a shitty human being and now you're bringing life into this world. And Spirit and your divine feminine is calling forth compassion within you to show you that you don't have to be a product of your environment. You don't have to be the person that you were before. You can move forth into more compassion, not just for yourself, but this life that you're bringing into the world. Okay. Then we have the void. It says stop, embrace winter. great cosmic wound. The fact that great cosmic wound is here, someone is definitely about to get pregnant. If you're not about to get pregnant, you're about to give birth. For some of you, you're about to birth a lot of new ideas, and you may be in the void right now. You may be in a space where you're like, I want to create, but I don't know what to create. And you need to go within. You need to go deep within your own subconscious, deep within your own spirit to get whatever it is that spirit has for you. Because if you feel the call to create, then there is something for you to create, and it may be right in front of your face, and you're missing it because you are looking with your physical eye and not with your third eye, not with your spiritual eye. And I know a lot of times people don't want to go into the void. They don't want to go into the darkness, but the void and the darkness is where you can find yourself. And I just saw 2222. There is a balance there, right? But for some of you, you need to go into the void. You need to stop and embrace the silence, the quiet. Some of you, your spirit guides and your ancestors are asking you to meditate more, but you need to stop, embrace the winter, embrace that there is nothing happening. There is no growth, so that you can see the growth that is happening. Like, I'm getting the visual of snow on the ground and then someone like moving snow away, and there's actually a plant growing there. So there is growth in this darkness, but you have to be willing to like venture into the darkness. Okay. So then your card right after that is the Curious Peony. It says, multifaceted, unique nature, let yourself be seen. It's funny to me that this card comes right after the void, especially when I got the visual of like moving the snow away and then there's a plant coming. Spirit is saying you are going through the void right now, but this is what's coming from you. Did you see how pretty the peonies are? Do you see how they are growing? They are blossoming. They are almost like magical. There is something meant for you to create. And this is definitely going to be my pal for my creatives. If you've been feeling called to create, if you've been feeling called to write, if you've been feeling the call to go back to stories that you started years ago and now you want to finish them, or paintings, or a job. It could even be a job. You're feeling called to go back to a job that you left years ago. Not in necessarily the specific company, but the job, the role itself. You're being called to go back to that, because in that place is where you need to let yourself be seen. And some of you, I'm hearing this, you're going to have to be walking compassion, which is why you have to let yourself be seen. Your unique nature is multifaceted. You can do multiple things. So for some of you, this is not just one thing. This is a slew of things. You may feel like you're being called to do more than one thing, and you may be like, okay, this might be too much. Spirit is asking you to take your time, to slow down, right? Do one thing at a time, right? Slow yourself. Like, let's say, I'll give you an example. Let's say you are in the midst of creating some, I don't know, you're a wood carver, right? But you also enjoy candle making, right? And let's say you also enjoy creating dishes, right? Trying new dishes and creating those. Spirit is saying that maybe make a nice desk when you're doing wood, right? Or make a birdhouse, right? And then in between that, if you feel called to make, candles, make a candle. And then in between that, if you feel called to do something else, like you feel called to try a new dish or make a new dish, then do that. But balance yourself out. Don't feel like everything that you're called to, you're going to make $1 million from it, or you have to be beholden to that one thing. Spirit is asking you to be more free and go with the flow a little bit more, because you're so multifaceted and there are so many things that you are being required to do that you're going to have to let yourself be seen. You're going to have to put yourself out there, but do it slowly. If you feel like it's too much, then just tell Spirit, say, hey, can you give me a little bit extra time? Like, I want to do so-and-so, so-and-so, whatever the case may be, right? But Spirit is saying you need to let yourself be seen. Like I said, I'm hearing be the change that you want to see. You're going to have to be the compassion that you want to see in the world, okay? And then your bottom deck energy says you are not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness. Face your true north. For some of you, when I talked about in the beginning, like what I was talking about is going to be very woo-hoo, that people are not going to be able to understand it. That is okay, right? You are not for everyone. You are not here to be liked by everyone. You are here to transform the consciousness of the collective. You are here to help individuals through transformation. And you cannot do that if you're struggling to make sure that everybody likes you. You want everybody to be your friend. You want everybody to do this, do that. And Spirit is saying that's not what you're here for. You're here to be who you're supposed to be. You are here to be a guiding light. You are here to be blooming. You are here to bloom so that other people can see the compassion within you, so that they can see the compassion within themselves, okay? So we're going to pull a couple of more cards to see if we can get some additional messages from Spirit. Okay, let's pull from the Citadel deck. Spirit, any cards for pile number 1, any additional messages? We have Pathless. It says difficult decisions, lack of direction. And then we also have the Painter, productivity, creation. What did I say? This is definitely my creative pal. You are here to create. Because part of your creation is not just helping yourself. It's not, let's say you are a painter. You're not here so you can just create beautiful paintings so that they can just be beautiful paintings. Your beautiful paintings will heal people. It will heal the world. And then I just noticed, look at all these hands here. You see all these hands here? There are a lot of people's lives you are going to touch. Okay. And you may feel like, because it says right here, the pathless, it says difficult decision, lack of direction. For some of you, you feel beholden. And I think that's why Spirit wanted me to talk about like how you could be a wood carver and you could also like make candles, but you can also be a type of person who makes up different type of dishes, desserts, whatever the case may be. You may feel pathless because you may feel like you have to choose one of those paths. And Spirit is saying you can help transform in all of those paths. You don't have to choose, because maybe you are a wood carver, and let's say, the people who like candles will never talk to someone who's a wood carver or never get a chance to see your pieces, because the reason why thank you, Spirit. The reason why you are so multifaceted is because there are so many different people that you have to reach. So someone who loves to try new dishes may not necessarily be into candle making, right? So Spirit is saying that there are so many lives that you're going to touch, but there are so many avenues that you can go down. There are so many avenues that you will go down. You're not pathless. You just have a lot of different paths you can take. And Spirit is saying not to choose one, but to do as many of them as you like. Okay. And then we have the runaway that fell down. It says secrets, running from problems. Yeah. For some of you, you've been running from this path. You are well aware of what this is that Spirit is talking about for you. You like I said, you'll know if this pile is for you, because maybe you've been running away from your creative abilities. Maybe you've been working in a corporate job and that's all you've been doing because that's what you're used to. That's what you're accustomed to. And Spirit is saying that is about to change, right? You are not going to be doing this anymore. You can't keep running away from the things that Spirit have for you. For some of you, you may start to see keys as signs of things transforming. You may start to see a paintbrush or something like that, or flowers or peonies specifically. And then we have the King. It says control, reversal of fortune. So for some of you, you're looking to have your fortune be in specifically in like maybe corporate, and Spirit is saying that's not where your fortune lies. Your fortune lies actually in a more of a creative path, because it speaks more to who you are as an individual. It speaks to who you are more as a person, right? Deep within your soul. That's where you're meant to be. Okay. I want to pull you some cards. Let's pull from them Cosmic Insights, because we got Cosmic Heart here, and then we got the Great Cosmic Wound. So we're going to pull from the Cosmic Insights deck. Spirit, can we get 2 cards? Any additional messages that pile number 1 needs to hear? We have give it time, everything in divine timing, let things flow. Yes. What did I say? That you just have to go with the flow, right? You don't have to pick one path. Go with what feels natural to you. If wood carving feels natural to you right now, then go to that. If, creating a candle feels natural to you right now, then go with that. Okay. Let's get you one other card. Spirit, can we get one other card, please? Thank you. Oops. We have no, it's not time right now. So for some of you, if you just ask the question for Spirit about something that you want to do, the answer is no. And then you have vacation here. It says you will be traveling soon. So for some of you, maybe the question, wow, and look what's under here. What did I say? Some of you could actually be giving birth. Some of you may have always wanted to travel, and you're going to finally get the opportunity to do so very, very soon. And maybe that's why the question that you asked is no. For some of you, I want you to notice that there is a bee here. Whenever I see bees like this, it makes me think of working. So I don't know if maybe you ask Spirit if the job that you're in is your calling, and Spirit is saying no, you're meant to travel. For some of you, this is physical travel, so you could be moving. For some of you, you could be going on vacation. It is close to the summertime. For some of you, you could be going on vacation. For others of you, you could be traveling in your mind while you're sleeping. You could be traveling from different worlds. And maybe that's why your intuition and your spirit and your calling is starting to grow more and come out more. Okay. I do want to get I have some cards here that talks about signs, houses, and planets, just to see if we can get any additional information from Spirit. Spirit, any additional information for pile number 1? Can we get 1 card, please? Oops, that was too many. Okay. Can we get 1 card, please? And this could be your sign. This could be one of like your house, a house that is prevalent in your birth chart right now. So I would definitely say look at your birth chart to see if especially if the houses come out, to see what transits may be going through your chart right now. And then we have Sagittarius. So you may be a Sagittarius. It says your highest ideals, the rules of get it out to the world. Yeah, for some, like I said, for some of you, there's so much that you need to give to the world. And we'll pull one more card. There's so much that you need to give to the world, but you've been holding it in, right? You haven't been giving it to the world. And then you have Mercury. It says the awareness of many thoughts about or from many words. So for some of you, you are going to be, part of your path is being a speaker, right? And for some of you, like I said, the compassion, you're going to be speaking compassion into yourself because you're going to be speaking it into others. And then your bottom deck energy is Mars. So it says to drive forward, the confronting of, and action. So Spirit is definitely asking you to take action, pile number 1, because this is like, it's unavoidable, right? This is something that you're meant to do. And that's why the divine feminine is bringing it up for you right now, right? It's because it could be that this compassion thing that you need to do is right around the corner and you don't have a lot of time. So they're trying to get you prepared now. Let's get you 1 angel card. Because it may be, these angel numbers may be Kuan Yin's way of reaching out to you. So I would definitely say when you see these angel numbers, and I'm seeing 3333. So like I said, 3333, 33 is actually Kuan Yin's number. So for me to see 3333, that's definitely confirmation. For some of you, you may start to see the number 333 a lot. For others of you, you may start to see some of the numbers that are pulled in the angel deck, the angel number card deck, because Kuan Yin may be using those numbers to reach out to you, or it may also be a sign for you to be more compassionate with yourself. So you may have some thoughts that are self-deprecating, and Kuan Yin may be using these numbers to actually ask you to be more compassionate to yourself. Okay, can we get a couple of numbers, please? We have 55, so it says change. 555, it says change. It says encouragement, support, obstacle, battle, calling, restructuring, creative work. What did I say? Some of you, look at this, creativity, creation. You're going to be working with your hands, or whatever it is that you do that's coming from the soul. Like, you don't have to physically work with your hands. For some of you, this is what you're going to be doing. But singing is creative work. It's something that comes from the soul. Okay. It says, you are going to level up. It might not feel good initially, but it will prepare you to handle the greater things in life. What did I say? Oh my God. It will prepare you to handle the greater things in life for your highest good. That is why you've been looking for. Push through it. That's what you've been looking for. Push through it. There's a reward waiting at the finish line. Yes, you having compassion for yourself. And this keeps happening. It is cloudy outside. It's actually supposed to rain where I'm at right now. When I started reading this, the sun started coming out. And I don't know if you can see it here because I'm trying to use natural light. It's not working out great, but I was trying to use natural light. But when I started reading this, the sun started coming out. So to me, every time I see that, that's always confirmation from the divine that you're on the right path, okay? Or that I'm on the right path as well. Let's get one more card, and then we'll get a bottom deck card. So can we get one more card, please? Oh, too many. Oh. That is too many. And I just saw 13. Let's keep going. Okay, wow, it came back out again. So we have 888. It says karma, balance, finances, success, wealth cycles. What goes around comes around. Listen, the compassion that you have for yourself, what goes around comes around. It's almost like you're going to be on a cycle of giving compassion. And then that person, the person that you gave compassion to, is going to give compassion to somebody else. And like, it's just going to keep going, right? It says a lot of money is coming your way. Fortune refers to more than just monetary and material success. If you don't appreciate the people in your life now, you won't have them tomorrow. This message encourages you to take personal responsibility and use it to realize your greatest potential. And some of you have a lot of good potential, but part of part of what you need to do is have a little bit more compassion for yourself. Okay. Some of you may be feeling like, I'm not called to do this, or like, I'm a fraud. There are so many other people, spirit can call to do this. You're not a fraud, right? You are specifically being called, and you'll know if it's you. Because sometimes when we're being called, we often run from our destiny. And sometimes those are the people that spirit use the most. Okay. So it says 0707, it says compromise, self-awareness, forgiveness, professionalism, empathy, tenacity, and freedom. Let go of what no longer serves you. Stop holding on to grudges, express your emotions, and aim towards a compromise. Where there's a lack of understanding, it's best to just move on. The truth will set you free. Listen, this stop holding on to grudges, express your emotions, that is spirit to asking you to have compassion for yourself, compromise. Because yes, you were in a situation that you did not necessarily like. Yeah, maybe you didn't like the person you were before, but there is a reason why you went through what you went through, and it's going to allow you to have compassion for others. Okay, pile number one, I'm telling you, pile number one, your pile is so beautiful. I know it probably doesn't seem like it, especially if you're the type like me who have always beat up on themselves, but that's why your pile is so beautiful. Spirit is saying that you need to have a lot more compassion for yourself, because what you have to do in this life, the path that you are going down now, and the sun is starting to come back out, the path that you are going back, the path you're going down now is going to require you to have a lot of compassion for other people, but it starts within you. Be careful how you speak about yourself. Be careful how you speak to yourself, because when you are opening your mouth and you are saying things to yourself, you are speaking that life into yourself. So if you want to speak deadness into yourself, if you want to speak sadness into yourself, then when you open your mouth, then that's what you should say. But if you want to speak love, change, transformation, beauty, abundance, if you want to speak that into your life, then be kinder to yourself. When you have those self-deprecating thoughts, so like, I'm not good enough, I won't be able to do this, immediately, look, this is one of the things that I do. I always say, then why am I not good enough? What's so wrong with me that I'm not good enough to be able to do this when so-and-so can do it? What is so wrong? What have I done so wrong in my life that I can't do this? And it immediately turns around that self-deprecating thinking, because I am just as worthy as any other person walking the planet. From the ant all the way up to somebody like the Pope or a guru, you are just as worthy as anyone else walking this planet. And you need to know that. Okay, pile number one? So this is all of the messages that I have for you. I thank you so much for sticking it out with me throughout this reading. I am showing you so much love and so much compassion, and I will see you next time in your next reading. Bye. Hello, pile number two. If you chose this card, then this is your pile. So I hope I'm saying this right. I believe this is Amaterasu, which is the goddess of light. It says, we are all sacred mirrors reflecting back the same light. So what I'm getting from this card, before I even read from the actual book, is that you may be going through a phase in life where you are being a mirror to others. You may find that you are, I don't want to say fighting, but there's a lot of disagreement happening. And I just saw 33. There's a lot of disagreement happening within your life or in your space or in your home right now. And it's because you are being used by the divine feminine specifically, as a light to show others themselves, right? You also may be experiencing a situation where someone is mirroring back to you your own behavior, and you're starting to see it for the first time and you don't necessarily like it. For others of you, the divine feminine is calling forth that light, right? So I can't describe this, but there's actually the sun. It was just cloudy before I started reading, and then the sun started coming out. For some of you, you are going to be the energy of the sun. Some of you, you may be getting, you may be receiving, I don't want to say calls, but the god Ra may be reaching out to you. So the sun god Ra may be reaching out to you. It may also be helpful to do some research about the sun god Ra. That may be confirmation for you. But for others of you, you are starting to shine a light on other people's behavior. And you may find that people don't necessarily like a light being shined on their darkest moments, or on the things that they've been trying to hide, not only from themselves, but the world. And you may be wondering why you're clashing with so many people right now, or you're clashing with friends, or you're clashing with family. And it's because part of your purpose here is to be a light, to help people see, like help others see themselves. And the people that you're showing themselves to, they may not necessarily like it right now, okay? It may be making them feel uncomfortable because they have been okay with hiding in the shadows. And I just saw 222. They may have been okay with hiding in the shadows, and now they're having to come forward and they don't like it. For others of you, you may be experiencing this because you yourself have had to, quote unquote, come from behind the camera. You've had to be more of a light, put yourself more out in the front, and it may have been uncomfortable as hell. And you had a hard time, and you're watching other people have a hard time. But this is part of your destiny, part of what the divine feminine is bringing forth within you is that light, right? You may, I'm getting a visual. You may be dreaming of yourself seeing a light come from the centers. So think of like your solar plexus. You may start seeing, like, dreaming of yourself with light coming from your solar plexus. For some of you, you may start having dreams of like you being in all-encompassing light, and you're not sure where the light is coming from. I am here to tell you that you are the light. Pile number 2. You are the light that you are seeing in your dreams, which is why it's emanating from your solar plexus. It's emanating from the chakras within your body, because there is a light that you need to be showing to the world, and you can no longer hide anymore. You like think of yourself as the sun, and I know that might be hard to hear, but think of yourself as the sun in other people's life. There are people who are going to bask in your warmth. There are people who will blossom and grow because of the light that you're giving them. But there may be also people who get burnt by your light, right? And there may be people who fly too close to the sun, or to you as the sun. And I just saw 404. They may fly too close to you as the sun, and they may get burnt. They may feel like they're not long for this path or being able to see themselves, because sometimes we try to see things that we're not necessarily ready to see, and when we see it, our feelings get hurt, right? So it could be that there are a lot of people who are around you who are basking in your light. Now, I will also say to be careful of energy vampires who, like, they want to stick around you because your light is so bright, and because it's so warming, right? It is so, like, you're giving warmth in the in not in the desert, but like you're giving warmth in let's say the winter months, right? During an icy storm, you were coming out to give warmth. You were coming out to melt the snow away. For some of you, you could be literally like melting the snow away. And what I mean by that is like melting away the ice and the snow around people's heart. They are seeing you. Some people, you may have been getting and this is one confirmation for you. People may tell you that they love your smile. Something about your smile is coming through, that you have such a radiant smile and people want to smile because you're smiling. This may also be something about your laugh. Your laugh may be very contagious, where people feel like they don't even know what you're laughing at, but they want to laugh because they see how happy you are. You may radiate so much happiness right now. And for some of you, you are like, because I'm seeing like a very shy individual. You may be an introvert, and you may not want to come out into the light. And that's part of the reasons why you are the light, right? That's part of the reason why the goddess is bringing this out within you, because you are not so arrogant that you see that you are the sun, but you're like telling people, I'm the sun. Like, it's not like that. You understand that your power here is to, quote unquote, be in the shadows while still giving sunlight, right? And you're being pushed, and I'm sorry, pile number 2, you may not want to hear this, but you are being pushed more to the forefront. You are being pushed out because for some of you, you've been hiding your light. You're not in the shadows and still shining your light. You're hiding your light. And the divine feminine within you is saying no more. No more hiding your light. No more hiding who you are. Your light is meant to be shown, because by you shining your own light, you're going to give other people who are, say they're like their stars or the moon, or they're their own sun, you're going to give them the boldness and the tenacity to actually shine their own light, but it's got to start with you. Yeah. And I know that's hard to hear because some of us, we're very comfortable with being behind the scenes. We're very comfortable with giving a little out and that's it. I don't need to give too much more. I'm good with what I just gave. Right. But your divine feminine is coming forward to say that no more hiding. I'm literally hearing, what is the song from Camp Rock, the first one? No more hiding who I want to be, who I used to be, or something like that. This is me. That's what's happening right now. Your divine feminine is coming forward and saying, this is real. This is me. This is exactly who I'm supposed to be. And the sun is coming out again. So this is definitely, every time the sun comes out when I'm doing a reading like this, it's always confirmation, and it's just getting brighter. You can't see, I don't know if you can see it here because I'm trying to use natural light, but it's not working quite well. But whenever the sun comes out, when I'm saying stuff like that, it's definitely confirmation that some of you, that what I'm saying is actually real. Like it's always confirmation for the reader, but it's also confirmation for the person who's listening. So for some of you, you are no longer going to be able to hide your light. And I know you don't want to hear that. I know you don't, because I'm feeling the introvertedness. I feel the, please let me just hide behind my robe. Please let me just hide in my house and not have to talk to anybody. You're no longer going to be able to do that, pile number 2. And I'm so sorry. I'm also sorry, but not sorry, because the light that you are going to be giving off and the light that you're going to be giving to the world is actually needed. Okay. So we're going to read this one from the book. So it says, I hope I'm saying this right. Amaterasu, okay, embodies the levity that brings us out of the darkness and shows us the beauty of our own light. I'm telling you, I did not even read this. I did not know this was in here. Amaterasu is the most powerful deity in the Shinto religion. She's the solar goddess of Japanese mythology. Her name means shining in heaven. The oldest legends of Amaterasu date back to the 18th century and come from the Kojiki. So it's Kojiki, Kojiki, I'm going to say, or the Japanese record of ancient matter. So if I'm saying that wrong, I truly apologize. It says, in Shinto, Kama are spirits or deities, and the most well-known story of the kami in Shinto is when Amaterasu got in a fight with her brother, Susanoo, god of the storms and of the sea. His violence made Amaterasu so upset and angry, she retreated into a cave, leaving the world in darkness. What did I say? I knew what I was feeling, that shy energy, that I don't want to do this. Like, I'm good with being in the shadows. You can get somebody else. It says, the kami of merriment placed a mirror outside of her cave and laughed so much Amaterasu became curious. She peeked outside the cave and saw a beautiful goddess, a stunning vision of the dawn. She was in awe of it, not realizing it was her own reflection. What did I say? In your dreams, and this could be outside of your dreams, but I really feel like it's going to show up in your dreams. In your dreams, you're going to be in a space where you are just going to be seeing nothing but pure light, and you're going to be wondering where it's coming from. It is coming from you. You are the light. Wow, I love when stuff is so synchronistic like this. It says, it says, surrounded by laughter, Amaterasu's anger and depression lifted, and she agreed to leave the cave, bringing her light with her back into the world. Listen, pile number 2, I know you don't want to do this. I know you would prefer to stay in the cave just like Amaterasu, but the cave is not where you belong. That beautiful light that is within you, it is going to be shown to you, and that's how you're going to come out of this. For some of you, you may be going through depression, so I apologize if that is something that you're going through. But for some of you, and I will say this, I am not a medical professional, so if you believe that you need help, I would definitely suggest that you seek this. But I will also say that for some of you, you are going to be your own light, and you're going to bring yourself out of darkness, because you're going to be able to see yourself for the first time. For some of you, there's a mirror that's going to be held up to you, and you're going to be actually able to see the light that is within you for the first time. And it may be that you heal someone else, By being a mirror, you're going to be healing other people and they're going to be brought into the light. Okay. So let's get you some cards. I love that that was so synchronistic. Like, love to see it. Okay. Let's get some, actually, yeah, we'll do these. Let's get some cards. Spirit, can you give us some cards for pile number 2, please? Anything they need to hear right now. Thank you. We have trust the timing. Trust the wave you came in on. Timing is not running out. Okay. Yep. For some of you, you're in this cage. Not cage. Well, you could be in a cage, not a physical cage, but I was trying to say cave, and you're worried that time is running out. It's not. Okay. For some of you, this cage is darkness. That's what you're in. I thought a card flipped over. The cage that you're in is darkness. We're going to keep shuffling. Okay, never mind. No, we're not. I tried to put it back in a pile and it would not go back in there. It says, fall into my arms. It says, surrender, holding the opposites, extremes of life. Okay. Yeah, for some of you, you're definitely going through some form of depression or sadness, because that fall into my arms, whenever I get that card, that's what it makes me think about. And then we have, yep, they were both meant to come out because they both just came back out. So you have the cosmic heart, devotion, potency, make your life a living prayer. For some of you, you came from pile number 1 because this card actually came out in pile number 1. Can we get one more card, please, Spirit, and bottom deck energy? We have perspective. It says, none of this matters. Zoom out, common ground. And then your bottom deck energy is lifting the veil. So it says, questioning everything. Anything unaligned must go. Okay, pile number 2. Let's start with your first card. So it says, trust the timing, trust the wave you came in on, trust time is not running out. For some of you, okay, I'm feeling like for some of you who are listening to this, you may be older and you may be feeling like you're too old to start on a new path. You're too old to start over. Spirit is saying time is not running out. As a matter of fact, you starting at this age, so let's say you're 40 or 80 or 100, right? You starting at this time is the exact time that you were supposed to start. This is the right timing for you to do what Spirit wants you to do. And that may be why your light, like Spirit is asking you to come out of shyness. And I'm also getting a little bit of pile number 1. For some of you, you may be asked to do more than one thing. You may be asked to shine a light in more than one place. And that may be why you're getting it in more than one place, because what you're going to do is going to cover such a wide variety and wide range of people, because you're going to be doing multiple things. For others of you, your timing is not off. The timing is perfect. Now is the time for you to shine your light. For some of you, you may be thinking, oh, I'm too young. Nobody will listen to me. Now is the perfect time. Okay. Now is the perfect time. You may even be saying to yourself, for some of you that may be going through like, depression or sadness, you may be saying to yourself, like, I'm going through something really horrible right now. I don't know if this now would be the right time for me. And to me, this is confirmation that now is the perfect time, because we talked about how Amaterasu actually saw herself in the mirror, and that's what brought her out of her own depression. And for some of you, by just being who you are, right? Just living in your purpose and being who you are is you showing yourself that the light that you need is coming from within you. Like I specifically kept seeing like the solar plexus, like light coming from the solar plexus. So for some of you, this may be about creation. You may be creating something, and that's what's going to start you to on your own journey of healing and start you to seeing your own light. But I'm just telling you, like, the timing, trust the timing, because the timing is right. Whenever it happens, whenever it takes place, that is the right exact timing. Okay. Then you have fall into my arms. It says surrender, holding the opposites, extremes of life. So for some of you, you need to surrender to the light that is within you. Okay. You've been hiding your own light so much that you don't even know who you are. Right. And the divine feminine, which within you, is asking you to fall into the arms of the divine feminine. For some of you, this may be your spirit. This may be your ancestors, your spirit guides, but you're being asked to fall into the arms of of spirit. Fall into the arms of the light that is already within you, because you can catch yourself. I know that sounds so weird, but you, the light within you, can actually catch you. The light within you can actually heal you, but you have to be willing to be vulnerable and go within. Some of us, we don't like going within because we feel like society and other people have made us feel like we can't even trust the power that is within us. And that power is there. It is so great and it is so powerful, but we're so busy looking for external guidance. We're so busy looking for someone outside of us to give us what we already have. That divine feminine is within us, right? And we can all go and get that motherly love from within us, but we have to choose to do so, right? Because this falling into my arms always make me think about falling into the arms of spirit, or in some cases falling into the arms of our mom, right? Some of us, our mother's arms is where we felt the most safe. It's where we felt the most protected, right? So spirit is asking you, your divine feminine within you is asking you to fall into its arms because it can catch you, okay? Then we have the cosmic heart. It says devotion, potency, make your life a living prayer. For some of you, you definitely came from pile number 2, because we talked about this a lot, that your life, your everyday life is going to be part of your path. And for those of you here in pile number 2, that light that you're shining, just you being yourself is the path, which is so cool. Just you being yourself. You don't have to do anything different. You just have to be yourself. Just that, because your life is a living prayer. Who you are as an individual. You don't have to shift. You don't have to change anything. You don't even necessarily have to create anything with your hands. If that's something that you feel called to do, then absolutely do that. But for some of you, this is just about you living in your own destiny, walking in your own path, because that is where you are going to find the most, like, how do I want to put this? The most authentic, thank you, Spirit. The most authentic version of yourself is when you are yourself. And yourself, hello, is the sun. It is that light. And that's why all you have to do is be you. And I know that sounds weird. It sounds like you got to be all these other people and you got to be a guru. Nope. You have to be you, whatever that is. You know, the truest expression of yourself. That's who you have to be, okay? And then we have perspective. It says none of this matters. Zoom out, common ground. For some of you, the sadness that you're going through, it could be because of one thing. So let's say you no longer talk to your parents anymore because you decided to take on a spiritual path and they don't like it. Or you, I don't know, you just broke up with somebody and you thought this person was going to be the love of your life and now you're sad. Spirit is asking you, your divine feminine is asking you to zoom out, okay? Zoom out from what is actually happening and see the bigger picture, because there's so much more that you have to do in this life, that you cannot be stuck on the small things. And this is not me diminishing what you're going through. I absolutely think that you should actually sit in how this makes you feel. Sit in the feeling of it, but don't stay there, right? That's where we get lost. Sometimes I personally, this is my own personal opinion, I am not a medical professional. So I'm going to say it again. It's my own personal opinion. I am not a medical professional. But sometimes the way we get into sadness, the way we get into quote unquote borderline depression, is because we sink into things that if we just zoomed out and saw the bigger picture, we would be able to let go a little bit easier. But sometimes we don't have compassion for ourselves. We don't talk to ourselves, and we don't give ourselves grace in a place of understanding what we've been through. So because we don't do that, right, we have a bigger problem. We have bigger issues, and we won't zoom out. Like the issues that we have, they seem so big, right? And Spirit is asking you to zoom out and see the bigger picture. You're going to notice that the thing that you're going through is not as bad as you think it is, right? It is, I'm like I said, I'm not disqualifying or like trying to belittle what you're going through, but Spirit wants you to be able to zoom out, because only when you zoom out will you be able to see that it's not as bad as everything, like as bad as you thought it was. I had a sister who used to say, this too shall pass. That's the situation that you're in. Spirit is letting you know that whatever you're going through, it will pass, right? Like specifically, to Rasu, her brother was making fun of her, and it sent her into a blast state of depression. And she went into this cave, and it was only after seeing her own light, a light that she thought belonged to someone else, that she was able to come out that cage, and it was the cave, and it was because she was able to zoom out and see the bigger picture. And Spirit is asking you to do the same. And then your bottom deck energy is lifting the veil. So it says questioning everything, anything unaligned must go. And for some of you, part of the reason why your light is so dim is because there are veils, and there are rocks, and there are boulders, and there are caves in front of you that's obscuring your light. And there are things that no longer serve you. There are things that no longer serve a purpose. And Spirit is asking you to let those things go. Spirit is asking you to be willing to remove the veil from your own eyes, right? Spirit is asking you to remove the boulder. Spirit is asking you to remove the cave. Remove yourself from the things that no longer serve you so that your light can shine, because there's so much that you need to do in this world. And in order to do that, you're going to have to be the fullest version of yourself. And I don't mean, because I want to make this plain, I am not saying that the only way you can do this is by being the fullest healed version of yourself. I think that there is a beauty in being yourself as you heal, because truthfully speaking, no one is ever fully healed. If you are fully healed, like completely healed, there's no more learning for you to do. You're not here. Yep, you are a spiritual being at that point. That's my own belief. I know other people have different beliefs, but that's my own belief. If you are fully healed and there is nothing wrong with you, no more tests for you to go through, you are a spiritual being at this point, okay? For the rest of us, we are always constantly healing. We are always constantly evolving, because that's what we do as a species, right? We evolve, we get better, we learn. But part of that starts with us lifting the veil from our own eyes, okay? So we are going to get I think we're going to do some psychic reading cards. And then we'll see what other messages we get. Spirit, can you give us 2 cards for pile number 2, please? Any additional messages they need to hear right now? Any additional messages? Thank you. Wow, we have celebration. And that's card number 6. Can we get one other card, please, Spirit? Rainbow just fell out, but I'm going to keep shuffling. Okay, what is this? We have card number 1, abundance. Look at this. And then your bottom deck energy is numbers. So for some of you, and I felt called to say that this was number 6. So for some of you, numbers may be coming out for you. And then there's a 6 here as well. So 666 may be coming out for you. 26 may be coming out for you. 16 may be numbers that's coming out for you. I would say pay attention to those numbers when they do come out, because they may have a message for you. Okay, I'm going to read the celebration card from the book as well as the abundance card. So this is card number 6, celebration. It says, good news is on the way to bring joy back into your life. You have, and I want to also let you know that the number 22 is at the bottom of this page right here. So it says, you have received this card as a psychic symbol from the universe to let you know that positive changes are taking place and it's time to celebrate. Have you been waiting to hear some good news, or for a special occasion to arrive in the form of a particular birthday, engagement, or wedding? Do you want to make a move to a new job? Have you been hoping for a pay raise? Have you been hoping that your current life situation will improve and be healed, or that you'll meet the love of your life? Yes, Spirit is telling you, your divine feminine within you is telling you that the light within you is going to be healing, and it's going to be a cause for celebration. So celebrate now, okay? I'm hearing the song, what is it? Don't wait till the battle is over to shout now, because you know in the end you're going to win. For some of you, that's what your divine, the divine feminine and spirit is saying for you to celebrate now. It says, would you like to buy a new home, or are you awaiting the approval of a loan? Are you awaiting the arrival of a new family member? The universe is giving you this psychic reading card to show you that all of your patience has paid off, and it is time to get ready to to celebrate in a happy, positive, uplifting manner. The universe delights in your joy and happiness. This psychic reading card of celebration is a reminder that there is always something in life to celebrate. Maybe part of the reason part of the way you're going to come out of this is there's going to be something that's going to happen you're going to be able to celebrate. Like for me, Amaterasu, there was a mirror there, and she was able to see like the beauty of herself, even though she didn't realize it was herself. Maybe that's what's going to happen for you. Something beautiful is going to happen, and it's going to cause you to see the beauty within yourself. Okay, for some of you, this could be you actually giving birth to a child. You definitely could have come from pile number 1, because that came out in pile number 1 as well. It says, when you have joy and happiness in your life, the positive vibrations attracts more of the same. Yep, of the same energy. It is time to pay attention to the positives you do truly have. Look at both the small and large joys around you, and remember that being alive is a celebration in itself. Enjoy each day and appreciate every moment with your friends and loved ones. When we pass over into the spirit world, the most important thing we can take with us is our memories, experiences, joy, and love for each other. From this moment onward, begin to make memories and celebrate this journey we call life. Be spontaneous and celebrate your achievements. Acknowledge that you have achieved your goals and rejoice in the feeling of satisfaction that comes from celebrating your triumphs. For some of you, something great is about to happen for you. Like you could definitely be giving birth to a child, but for others of you where that does not resonate, something beautiful is about to happen for you, and it's going to be cause for celebration. And something about this celebration is going to bring life into your own light. Is going to show you your own light. It's going to it's almost going to be like a mirror of who you are for some reason. I don't know what this is, but it feels like it is going to be a mirror to show you your own power, to be able to celebrate you as well. Okay. And this may be this could also be something, let's say you did something a while ago and you meet someone again and they're going to tell you how much what you did changed their life. They're going to be celebrating you. They may want to take you out to eat or something like that. And it's almost like you're going to see who you've always been for the first time. Like for you, what you did could have been something like so small and you would have seen it as something so insignificant, not that big of a deal. But this person, it completely changed their life. It completely changed their mental everything. And for the first time, you're going to get to see it. It's almost like sometimes when readers give readings, we don't often get a chance to hear like how things turned out, but it's beautiful. And I just saw 2828. It's beautiful when people come back to us and tell us how spirit, worked through work through us to give them that message and how stuff started coming true and blah, 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 right? It's helpful. Sometimes it gives you the courage to continue, because sometimes even as tarot readers or as oracle readers, sometimes we get discouraged, but sometimes when we hear things like that, it's spirit's way of letting us know that we're on the right path. Okay, so I think for you to get celebration and abundance, something beautiful is about to happen for you. I don't know if you've been what am I trying to say? If you have not had enough money to take care of your bills or something like that, money may be coming in for you. For others of you, this could be you're meeting your soul family. For others of you, you could be going on vacation. Or some of you, this could be more spiritual. You may meet a loved one in a dream or something like that. But let's read it. So this is number 1, the abundance card. It says, abundance is your natural state of being manifested today. You have received this card as a gentle reminder that abundance is a state of mind. The universe wants to remind you that you are an abundant spiritual being. And to me, this is spirit saying that you have the light within you, okay? It says you have the ability to manifest all of the abundance you need in your life. It is extremely important for you to focus on what you do have in life and not focus on what you don't have. Also, the number 12 is here. It says, abundance can come in many forms, but it equates to having enough of whatever it is you desire in your life. The universe operates within the realms of time and space. And once you understand this concept, the possibilities of abundance are limitless. When we want to manifest abundance into life, all you need to do is imagine, sense, see, and feel the thing you want to have an abundance of, and determine in your mind's eye that you already have exactly what you need. All you need to do then is allow the power of the universe to take care of the rest. You need to remember to let go of the questions of how things will work out. All you need to know in your heart is that anything is possible. For instance, do you want to have abundance to pay a bill? Wow. So for some of you, this is definitely monetary value, because for the first thing to come out as bills, and I think I said that you don't have enough money to take care of your responsibilities or your bills. For that to come out, that's definitely something that's going to be changing for you. It says, for instance, do you want to have abundance to pay bills, afford a holiday? And I didn't even realize that. Didn't I say that some of you could be going on a trip? Afford a holiday, or to not worry about money, to have wonderful friendships in your life, to have health in your life, or to have the desired love and happiness you feel you are lacking in your life. It is time to change your mindset and be positive. It says you may feel that this concept sounds as though it is easier said than done. Remember, the universe works on a different vibration to that of the earth realm. So the first thing you need to learn is that patience is a major part of manifesting any type of abundance. And I just saw 44. Abundance doesn't simply happen overnight. It does take time and positive energy. Once you understand this, surrender your hopes and fears and focus, manifest, and believe, and watch abundance appear in your life. So for some of you, there's definitely some abundance coming in. For some of you, you've been struggling financially, and that is all about to change. I'm hearing that this is going to be because of the belief that you have in yourself, which may be very hard to believe, but it is going to be because of the belief that you have in yourself, as well as the light within you. Something about the light within you is going to change things for you. So let's give you an example. This doesn't have to be, but this is what's coming up in my head. Let's say you meet someone and you do something for them that they consider like, oh my God, you just changed my life. It could be something as simple as giving them a nice smile or giving them a hug if that's something that they need. And then they pay your phone bill, right? Or they pay your light bill or something like that, right? Spirit is saying that your light is going to be the way that things are going to start changing. I'll give you an example. Someone gave me a reading and they told me my hands would be the way that I would amass wealth in this life. For you, your light is how you're going to do that. Your light is how you are going to be able to pay your bills. Your light is going to be how you're going to be able to take care of yourself, your family, whatever the case may be. I'm getting this image. Now, if it resonates, take it. If it doesn't, leave it. I'm getting this image of me and my mom. We often talk about gurus. And one of the things that I've always loved about some of the more high vibrational gurus is that they don't worry about money. They don't worry about how they're going to eat. They don't worry about where they're going to sleep, because they truly trust that the universe, that spirit, that God will have their back and make sure that they are given what they're supposed to be given, because they're doing his or her work, right? For you, pile number 2, that is going to be very significant for you. Your light is how you're going to be able to live. Your light is how you're going to be able to take care of yourself in this world, because your goal, one of your biggest goals here in life from spirit, or something that's on your divine or sacred path, is to be a light. And the divine feminine is coming up within you to say that this light needs to be shown, right? And it is helping you to show that light to the world. And like literally, that is how you are going to be able to live. Now, I know this may be hard to hear, but there are people who are living just by, being on the path that spirit acts for them. Now, I'm not asking you to go and quit your job tomorrow. If you feel called to do that, you do that, okay? Because I just saw 444. If you feel called to do that, right? But I'm telling you, pile number 2, those of you who are intuitively drawn to this pile, and you resonate with this message, you will know, right? You may feel the call to the life of a nomad. You may feel like you want to have you maybe want to do van life, where you don't necessarily know where your gas is going to come from. You don't know how you're going to eat. You don't know where you're going to be able to park your van at night. Some of you, the nomad life is where you're supposed to be, because your light, you're meant to travel and give that light to the world. Okay. So I'm going to pull from the Star Codes deck. There are some signs. There are planets in here. I think there are houses in here as well. We're going to see, we're going to pull some from this deck just to see if we can get confirmation. This could be like a sign, your sign, so your sun, moon, rising, or Venus sign. This could also be around the time when things might start happening for you, when you start to see that your light is more shining, or it could just be a message that spirit might have for you, okay? Spirit, can we get 2 cards from this deck, please? It's too many. It also could be houses that are prevalent for you right now, or very active, or could be active around the time of this shift. So you have the South Node, the past. Okay, so for some of you, you're healing from the past for sure. And then you have the 7th house, relationship. Okay, and then your bottom deck energy is retrograde review. Okay, so some of you, this may start happening when there's a retrograde happening. So let's talk about it. So, wow, you got 33 here. So the first card was South Node, the past. So for some of you, you are healing from past energies. You are healing, and that could be why this light is coming out now. This light is coming to move away the past. For some of you, I would definitely say, see what what planet, is in your South Node, whether it be, astrology house, should I say. So like Jupiter, not Jupiter, like Gemini or Aries or Aquarius or whatever. Something about your South Node is coming up. So I would definitely do some research about your current South Node, the sign that is in your South Node. That may be helpful for you. For some of you, this is about a relationship, and you may be going through this situation because like the hurt that I talked about. And I think I said that someone, you could have broken up with someone that you thought was the love of your life, and maybe that's why you've gone within yourself. And Spirit is saying that there is a regression that has happened because of a relationship. For others of you, you could get into a relationship, and this relationship could mirror back to you the light that is within you, and that's what's going to bring you out of this cave or sail, quote unquote, so to speak. Also, look and see what planets are transiting your 7th house. That could be confirmation for you as well. And then we have retrograde. So a lot of this may start happening during the next retrograde season or right before. I'm hearing that as well. For some of you, I'm also hearing you have to go backwards to go forward. Something about that retrograde and the South Node past is making me think that. So you may have to regress or go back in order to move forward down this path. Okay. Let's get you some meditation cards. I want to get you a meditation card. Spirit, can we get a meditation card for pile number 2? Any additional messages that they need to hear? One card, please. We have release attachments. Wow. Release the grip on what no longer serves you, allowing emotional wounds to mend, and finding freedom in detachment. Yeah. Didn't I talk? Yeah. This questioning everything, anything unaligned must go. You need to release attachments. That's how you're going to be able to move forward and see your own light. Is you have to remove the attachments that no longer serve you. And then we have harmonized energy. So it says, when you seek to balance and align your inner energies, you create a pathway for emotional healing by releasing stagnation and tension. So for some of you, you really need to harmonize your own energy. You may be a Libra as well. I'm hearing that. That may be your sun, moon, rising, or Venus sign. So that could be confirmation that this pile is for you. Okay. So we are going to get some angel numbers. I would also say, before I pull these cards, try to research Amaterasu. She may have some additional messages for you that you need to hear. There may even, if you dig a little bit more into her story, you may be able to see other ways that she released her own light or that she started. You may also want to take chances, because I just cut the deck and this was here. Spirit is asking you to take chances. So let's pull some cards from the Angel Number Oracle deck. I also want to say that these numbers could be coming out when Amaterasu is trying to give you a push to see your own light. It could also be these angel numbers could be reminding you of who you are. Okay, Spirit, can we get 2 cards, please, for pile number 2? 2 cards, please. Just saw something flip over. We have 2 that flipped over. So we have 1010. It says it's up to you. It says moderation, patience, flow, clarity, joy, movement, self-realization, taking action, unconditional love. It's time to put those long cherished ideas into action. You will soon come into contact with the appropriate individuals, circumstances, and resources. Eventually, you will experience joy as well as brand new opportunities. Trust in the process. Then there's that, yes, trust the timing. Okay, so your ancestors, okay. There's so much coming through. So you have 1010. So you're coming to the end of the cycle. So that lets me know that this sadness, this mental sadness, this depressive phase that you're going through, it is coming to an end. But it is up to you to be able to, because even for Amaterasu, she walked herself out of that cage. Okay. She walked herself out of that cave, or crawled, or whatever you want to say, right? It is up to you to come out and show your light. But Spirit is also saying you will soon come in contact with the appropriate individual, circumstances, and resources. I think I just said this, that you may meet someone in a relationship and they may marry you. So to me, that's confirmation that there is love coming from you for another person. So if part of the reason why you're so sad is because you lost the relationship that you thought was supposed to be your everything. The reason why you lost this relationship because it was not meant to last. This person was not meant to be your soulmate. They were there to teach you a lesson. And now that the lesson has been learned, they are gone, right? And I just saw 4141. They are no longer here because the lesson that you need to learn has, you have learned that lesson, and they need to move on, and so do you. And a lot of this is going to have to do with self-realization. You're going to have to come to this realization, and this person that's coming into your life, this person, resource, or whatever the case may be the reason that happens. And for you to get resources as well, I think we talked about this with you being able to pay your bills. Maybe some of you, that's what you're worried about. You're struggling to pay your bills, and you're like, I can't even think about being a light to anybody else because I can't even pay my own goddamn bills. Spirit is saying that phase is coming to an end, right? Is coming to an end because the resources that you need will be coming in to help you. This could be in the form of a job. This could be in the form of, I don't know, winning a lottery. This could be in the form of somebody giving you a certain amount of money. It could come through so many different channels, but Spirit is saying you're going to be taken care of. So for some of you, somebody may take you in and they may help you get on your feet or something like that, okay? And then you have 999. So it says release, balance, finance. Wow. Finances, success, wealth, cycles. What goes around comes around. I think this came, or something similar to this came out in pile number 1. So it says your current circumstances are ending. Yes. You might take advantage of better ones. If you are experiencing a significant change or conclusion, viewing your life as a series of cycles or chapters may be helpful. How can you make room for something new to emerge? Yes. You are coming to the end of a cycle. You are releasing the things that no longer serve you. And it's because it's time. Pile number 2, it is time. Things are about to change. They are about to shift for you. You are getting ready to come into financial abundance for sure. This could be abundance in other ways, but for a lot of you, this is financial abundance, okay? And then we have 1011. So it says take actions. It says hope. Wow, look at this, new beginnings. You're definitely coming to the end of a cycle. This cycle that you're going through of sadness or depression is about to be over. It says hope, new beginnings, fresh start, lifestyle, purpose, spiritual awakening. This is a call to action to move forward. The sooner you get going, the sooner you will accomplish what you set out to do. Those with patience will eventually reap the rewards of their perseverance. So Spirit is saying your divine feminine is coming through to say that you have persevered, and we are going to reward you because of that. Okay. You've persevered, you've kept going, and now you're about to be rewarded because of that. You are coming to the end of the cycle. The end of the struggling is over. The end of being alone is over. The end of this situation where you haven't, let's say you've been out of a relationship for a long time, and recently you saw someone, or you saw the person that you broke up with, and they're in a relationship, and you're sad because they're happy and you are not in another relationship. Spirit is saying that this sadness is coming to an end for you because you're about to meet that person. For others of you, abundance is about to come into your life where you're going to be able to take care of yourself. And I just saw 4444. So that number could be coming out very heavy for you. You may see that numbers as well as 1010, 1011, and 999. Okay. So pile number 2, this is all of the messages that I have for you. Thank you so much for sticking it out to the end with me in this reading. And I will see you next time in your next video. Bye.